All right, everybody, I'm back again. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Thank you for coming back. And I'm trying to get some content out, so I thought I would take this time right here and right now to come and just have a little chit chat with you about some things that I think are extremely important to us as women. And that is, what do you do when your little girl is not smelling the best? Or what do you do when there's an unpleasant odor in our private areas? Well, if you would like to know the answer to that, please stay tuned. All right, well, I thank you again for coming back to my channel, Save For Real 757. I'm looking down because I took some notes, and I might have to pause this and go back and get the notes. Can you believe it? Get the notes. Just give me one. You know what? I'm going to jump up and run. I'll be right back. Alright, so thank you for being patient with me. And I was just sitting here and I was thinking, I said, you know what? It's not that we as women, how can I put this? Are afraid to talk about it. A lot of women, I have found out since being in ministry and being a leader in ministry, they were not taught how to properly take care of their private area. A lot of women were taught that it was okay to bathe every 2 days, every 3 days. But as a woman, especially a woman that is engaging in sexual relations, no, you can't take a bath every 2 or 3, 4 days. It's not going to work for you. So there are some things that I just want to cover as a woman of God. And I just want you to understand some things, okay? And number one. The number one thing I want to talk about right now is this. Every woman and every man has a natural body odor. Natural. That's the way God made us. It's a natural body odor. And it doesn't, it's not what you call an odor, but we have a natural body scent. You can't escape it. As a woman, it's natural. But what it is not a pungent odor. Something that when you go to use the bathroom, and you pull down your panties to use the bathroom, and an odor hit you, wham, and almost knock you off your feet. That's not proper. That's not ideal. Something is wrong. Our body tells us when we need medical attention, believe it or not. And we as humans, we especially women, we have to learn how to pay attention to what it is our body is trying to tell us. Okay? And the one thing that you have to understand again is that there's a natural odor. It's not a bad odor, or it's not a foul odor, but it's just a natural odor. It's just there. It doesn't stink. It doesn't smell good. It's just there. But it's a part of who we are. Okay? And let me just say this. Every woman produces that type of odor, or I call it a scent. I have a particular scent. You have a particular scent. They have a particular scent. It's just our body chemistry. When we sweat, when we put on perfume, and that perfume gets into our body chemistry, or it produces a certain type of odor or scent. Well, the same thing when we as women, our natural body scent, believe it or not, is released, there's nothing that we can do about it. Okay, and with that being said, I need to tell everybody this right here. I'm going to say it again. It is not a pungent odor. It's not that thing that when you go to use the restroom and you pull your undergarments down and it like to knock you off your feet. That's not, if that happens, you need to make a doctor's appointment ASAP. You really do, because your body is telling you something is wrong. Something is wrong. Your levels, your chemistry is off somewhere. Now, if you have a body odor, ladies, that is mixed with a greenish or yellowish discharge, your body is letting you know, honey, you got to go to the hospital. You need to go to the doctor. You need to get you some antibiotics. You might even need to get you a shot in the booty. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's another thing. Yeah. Never, hear me, never, ladies, please hear me, never, ever, ever have sexual relations while you are on your cycle. I'm going to tell you why. Because in the Bible, when the woman is on her menstrual cycle, the Bible calls that woman unclean. And the reason the Bible calls that woman unclean is because her body is going through a purification process. And what it's doing is the blood is purifying. When a woman has a menstrual cycle, she is being purified or cleansed from a lot of toxins that's in her body. And you never want to have intercourse or sexual relations with your spouse if you are on your menstrual cycle, because all that does is open the door. Hear me. If you are already, if your body is trying to cleanse itself naturally through your monthly cycle, then your husband and you come together to have sexual relationships while you're on your cycle. All it does is confuses your body. And then what it is I guarantee you, I promise you, maybe not that month, but the next month, within the time that y'all had that relationship until your next cycle, you have to go to the doctor, because now you have caught some type of infection. Because believe it or not, your whole system, your whole body is open, because you're being cleansed of something. And then you don't went and put something back in it when the body is trying to cleanse itself. So therefore, our body is totally open. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. So it's very, very, very important to all of my sisters out here. Never have sexual relationships or sexual relations while you are on your monthly cycle. Because the Bible says that that's an hour of purification. We are being cleansed from the inside out. Anything, any toxins, any infections, anything that's trying to attach itself to our body is trying to cleanse itself. And we should not interfere with that happening. And ladies, and if you are with your spouse and your spouse is insistent upon you having sexual relations, you need to really pray for your spouse, because they have made it about them and they don't care about how you feel. That's the honest and good truth. Anytime a man, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with your husband desiring you. That is nothing wrong with that. But he should also respect and honor you as well, and understand that, you know what, this is the hour that my wife, this is the time that my wife is going through a purification process, and the Bible labels her as being unclean. And since this is her purification process, I got to restrain myself. That's what a real man would say. And if he tried to force you to do it, y'all might need to have a conversation for real, okay? So that's that. And then let me say this to you too, ladies. Anytime, If you are producing an odor, if you have an infection, if you are having a greenish, yellowish type of discharge coming from your little girl area, coming from your private area, and when you go to use the restroom and there's a pungent odor, trust me, if you can smell that odor, we can too. We can too. Perfume is not going to mask that odor. I don't care how many times you wash it away, it's going to come back. And it's rather embarrassing. And ladies, hear me on this. Take pride in making sure your physical body is okay. If your body is telling you, baby, you need to go to the hospital, go get a physical checkup because something down there is off. Something down there is off. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. Okay. And avoid using things that have perfume in them. Anything that have perfume in it, whether it be a feminine spray or one of them bath bombs or what have you, anything that has perfume in it, please keep it free. Keep it away from your girl area. Keep it away from your girl area. Because anything, it will change the chemistry in your little girl area. It will change the chemistry. And yes, it might be an immediate fix. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes I know how women are. If they feel like that they're going to be in contact with a gentleman, they want to freshen up down there. And the biggest mistake that they make is putting some perfumey stuff down there. And if you do that, you run the risk of an infection. You run the risk of having a discharge. And you run the risk of harming your body. So, as a matter of fact, causing some pain to your body. You might end up with a yeast infection, a urinary tract infection, a bacterial or either a bacterial infection. All because you're trying to impress somebody. But truth be told, if you are a single woman, you ought to be abstaining from sex. You ought to be. Okay, I'm just being honest. That according to the word of God. I live in the real world. I really do. I live in the real world, and I understand what some people are doing. I don't condone it no way whatsoever. None. Women of God, keep this clean. Keep your temple clean. Okay? And another thing that we should do as pertaining to our private area is avoid colorful panties. The silk panties. Listen, no thongs. Let me tell you something about them thongs here. Women go through a lot. Women go through a lot. I'm telling you, we go through a lot. Thongs ought to be banned. Thongs ought to be banned. Seriously. They ought to be banned. What else? Silk panties. Colorful silk panties. They might look nice, but if they don't make them in cotton, you know, cotton is the best kind. White cotton. White and cotton. But come on now. How many of us truly wear all just white cotton panties? Let's just be honest. But with that in mind, what you can do is you can switch it up. One week you can wear what you want to wear. The next week try some cotton panties. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And to keep down the chances of you getting an infection because of the dye that's in the color that's in the panties. Because again, we all sweat. And when we sweat in that closed-in area, the dye from our panties can get in the sweat, and because it's down in that area, it's a good chance it's going to get all up and through there. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep this really, really clean. Praise the Lord. And I want to tell you some of the dangers of using bath bombs. Bath bombs are very, very toxic. If you're going to use a bath bomb, I wouldn't even sit in the tub no more than 5 minutes. Just me. Bath bombs carry synthetic scents. Synthetic scents. And anything that says synthetic, like synthetic hair, is fake. It burns easily. You know, synthetic anything. Be careful of that. And also, when you use the bath bombs, the food dye that's in the bath bomb, while you're sitting in the tub, can get inside you and get into your bloodstream. Yeah, it can also cause urinary tract infections. It can cause urinary tract infections. Bath bombs, they believe bath bombs causes hormonal disruption. It can disrupt your hormones up and down, especially in your little girl area. And it's also believed that bath bombs are linked to cancer. Yeah, linked to cancer. And another thing that we should do when our little girl area is not pH balanced is we should just be honest enough to say, you know what? Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Because if you washing, and if you, I'm not going to say scrubbing, but if you washing down in that area, and if nothing, listen, anytime you have an odor, because you're going to be able to surely tell whether you have an infection or whether just your regular body scent. Let me tell you something. Because that infection, it may cause some itching. It may cause discomfort. It may cause you to have some pain. But whatever the case is, and it's definitely going to cause you to, for real, I'm just being honest. But what do you do when your little girl